What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus deck profile. Today we're going over Spright. This got first place after Swiss. I only lost once to the Tempai deck. I ended up beating in game 3. It was like he had Dark Hole, Raigeki, Lightning Storm, Chandra, Hydra, Snatch Steal, and I ended up beating all the last cards until he had the copy of Chandra, and it kind of just like OTK'd me there with like that crazy card. But other than that, then we split the top 4. We won in the top 8. I won that, and then we split top 4. So first place, and then the previous week on Wednesday, I ended up going 2-1 and I'm getting third. So pretty nice. I lost against Dinomorphia, but this is the deck that I've been playing. I'll be telling you guys why I played what ratios and what I would change in it. But yeah, before we dive in, over like, comment, share, channel a lot. We are playing the 3 copies of blue. Obviously, this is going to be the very standard ratio. 3 blue, 3 jet. We are playing the 2 red and the 1 carrot. Now, not a lot of players are not playing the 2 red. Some people have also decided to play 2 carrot instead, depending on what your locals is. I really like the 2 red. A lot of people are not expecting it. And also, like, if I have another extender in the hand, I have another extender in hand. I never really hate to see it, so it's just nice to have it in hand. That was really it for the Spright monsters. Of course, the package is kind of small. Maybe we get another one soon. But for the level 2 package, we're playing the triple copies of Beaver, double copies of Angler, and the triple copies of Swap Frog alongside the copy of the Mirror Mage. So not much to say about this package. Obviously, having the Swap Frog, something the Angler comes up so much. Swap Frog being able to come out off the copy of Gigantic, and then being able to dump the copy of the Mirror Mage. Mirror Mage Search helps you out a lot. In my top 4 match, I ended up opening up the copy of the spell for the Mirror Mage. So it was like really weird. I ended up only having a starter there, and like I had a starter, a talent. That was really all that I had. So I had to go to main phase, activate the starter. Then I summoned out the blue. It got hit with Droll and Lockbird. So then I could actually activate the talents and end up ripping their hand. I didn't want to do it in the draw phase. Like, there's stuff you have to know, like with those kind of stuff, like where there's moments where you have to do it in certain different areas, because if I'm going to get hit with Ash Blossom and my turn's going to end, I'd rather do it in the main phase while I have the copy of talents to rip their hand or potentially draw 2. Like in that case, I would have drawn 2, hopefully to hit a normal summon or a copy of something that can help me extend. But in that case, I hit withdrawal, and then of course I was able to play through it. And then I was able to summon out a copy of Toad because I had the copy of the spell in the hand, so I could just dump or summon out the Swap Frog off the Gigantic, or Swap Frog dump this, and then have the spell summon back out. You go for a Toad, and it was just enough for me there. But that's just gonna be for the level 2s. With this deck, it's very basic to play, but you have to like know your sequencing correctly to play around stuff. And then it also comes in where the ratios, like the triple copies of the hand traps. Like you can play hand traps or you can play board breakers, all depending on your approach to the deck. But we're playing triple Ash, triple Valor, triple copies of Imperm, triple copies of Nibiru. Now we're playing the 1 Bistio Magma and the 1 Druis Worm. You can definitely bump up ratios playing a Baldrake as well. I just chose I really like this alongside the copies of 2 talents and then 1 Call at the Grave. I really like this ratio there. I feel like nothing really would have changed. I did like Droll sometimes, but I just felt like it wasn't really needed. When I was playing Memento, I kind of like had this instead of the Drolls, and I found that they didn't come up very often as much, so I really like being able to play the Nib. And of course, a body is a body. If you normal summon any of your Spright monsters, if you only have a Spright plus a Nib on the field, you can go up into a copy of Sprint, and then you can just get your combo off just like that. So kind of nice to play. And then talents, of course, a lot of times you have like a little small interactions, going for 1 for 1. So being able to rip their hand or drawing 2 cards, drawing into those hand traps can just be really nice. Then for the last cards, we play the triple copies of Starter, the 1 copy of Freezing Chains, the 1 copy of Double Cross, and the 1 copy of Azrune. This card came up so much, being able to go up either into IP or the copy of the Rabbit, setting this and going against matchup like Yubel, being able to pop their copies of Nightmare Pain or pop their copies of the Gates just definitely helps out so much. That's it for the main deck. It's 40 cards. We are playing the Double Cross. This card's absolutely crazy. I feel like anyone who is playing the deck needs to be playing this card. It essentially gives you another Omni Negate for a brick, air quotes. But it also has a cool interaction to be able to take your opponent's cards and equipping it to your XYZs. Now for the extra deck, we are playing the 2 copies of the Gigantic, the 1 copy of Totally Awesome, the 1 copy of Sprint, the 1 copy of Silhouette Rabbit, the 1 copy of IP, and the 1 copy of SP Little Knight. Now these are the only actual cards that came up frequently into this. Being able to summon out your second copy of Gigantic always comes up. Totally Awesome, obviously being a negate. I did kind of want to play 2 Sprint in some weird grind games, but just not worth it, so just not playing 2 of it. IP and Rabbit kind of serve the same purpose. You normally end on one of these. depending on which matchup, game one, sometimes you end on a copy of Rabbit instead of the copy of the Trap. If you already have like Carrot and Red and your double copies of Toad, I'll give you just another interruption. And then other times you want to go for your IP, a lot of times going in second or in like post siding. If the Rabbit's not very good, you can go for the IP, and going to SP is always going to be great. But there's different stuff like that where you have to know what your cards do. Now for the other cards, kind of like not the flex spots, but obviously less important as these. We played the copy of the Soul Sweeper, the Mosquito, the copy of the Diner Magician, and a copy of Zeus. Now I did actually misplay in one game against Branded, where we went to a game 3 where we shouldn't have. I should have summoned the Mosquito there, and I should have had game that way. Also to mention that the games that I have lost, against the Tempai player, there's not much I could have done there. But when I was playing against the Dynamorphia deck, I kind of forgot. I went to this, and then I had 2 Judgments in my hand, which I'm going to be showing you guys in the side deck. You guys are going to be able to see that video, and if you want to be seeing the live reactions, I'm also doing it in POV style. So if you guys want to be seeing that live, like you're playing at locals through my eyes, you definitely can do that. But I had 2 Judgments in my hand, and I made a Mosquito. I should have set these 2 and just pass turn. I made him have to attack the Mosquito, and then when he tried to activate one of his Iron Thunders, I could have negated that as well. But unfortunately, I did not do that, and I just went battle phase attack, and I lost to any effect. So I essentially lost to a Solemn Strike because I didn't have my Judgment set, which is fine, but definitely, should have played better. Could have won that, which would have gotten me first place. Now, we are playing the Mannequin Cat. Now, I actually have not used this at all. I think this card can be 100% sided out. I'm going to be trying to play a copy of Phoenix in the upcoming whenever I play this. Now, this card's really good in the certain formats, of course, being able to summon out different bodies like Jinzo, being able to summon out copies of like Arcalor Christia, but it just unfortunately waste of side deck space. Therefore, I kind of not want to play it. Like I did play it against Ubel, being able to summon a copy of the Dark. I also played it against Branded, being able to summon out a copy of Blue and Jet, but again, it didn't get me anywhere. Where I wish I would have had like a copy of Nightmare Phoenix. So if I would have gone to Nightmare Phoenix, discarded a copy of Angler that I added back off the copy, Totally Awesome. It would have given me different bodies to be able to play. But yeah, definitely think this card is cuttable. And then we are still playing the copies of Dark, the copy of Selene, and the Axis Kotaker. This came up a lot against Ubel. Being able to go up into the Axis Kotaker, being able to pop. Like you have your Fire, you have your Light, and your Dark. So you're going to have like multiple pops. 3 pops normally gets you everything. And then being able to swing into this, and then if you have a copy of Gigantic with another underneath, you can get something bigger as well. These 2 normally will be game alongside like one other Spright body. That's really it for the extra deck. I did not miss really anything else other than the copy of the Phoenix. I don't think the Melfi package is necessary at all. I think they're extra bricks. And for a Synchro Summon for a Herald is nice, but unfortunately, at the risk of consistency, I don't really feel like it's worth it. Now for the side deck, we're playing for going first, triple copies of Judgment and the copy of Anti-Spell. Board Breakers really hurt this deck, so Anti-Spell is going to be there. Hopefully you do see it. For going second, we have the triple copies of Shifter and 1 copy of Gamma Burst. You notice the siding patterns are going to be very similar for most of this year. We want to simplify as much as we can. 4 going first slots, 4 going second slots. If this is not that good against the deck, you obviously don't have to put it in. You can play different cards. And then we have the triple copies of Cosmic. This is against you're playing like Runic and stuff like that. A bunch of different back rows. Good against Ubel as well. Being able to hit the Nightmare Pain can always be beneficial. But just going to overall a good card. And then the copies of Shirlea here. This is probably my worst card. Looking back at it, if you win the die roll, you go first. Chances are you win the game. Then going second, you can side these in, but like, what am I siding them in? I sided them in since it's Rika, but like, I want to be able to see some good cards. Like seeing Shifter, seeing Purlia are definitely good. But like, if I could just replace these with the copies of like Lightning Storms or even like a Raigeki, definitely is going to be in the upcoming. I just don't really know what I want to be playing, but unfortunately, I just don't think they're good enough in this deck because of how like impactful going first is. Going second, you just kind of want to Gamma Burst them, OTK, and Purlia doesn't really necessarily do that for you. And then we are playing the 1 Arcalor Christia. Once again, like I mentioned, I am most likely going to be cutting the copy of the Mannequin Cat. So this is going to be a free spot in the extra deck, or in the side deck. So definitely going to be thinking about that. I might be putting like another copy of Abystial inside it, which could help me for the siding patterns. But other than that, I'm always open up to recommendations. So if you guys think of anything I can replace these 4 cards with, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.